be a bit of a different subject. So I'm going to talk about regression hypnosis, the subconscious mind and the consciousness, and how actually everything is kind of tied together. Be prepared. This content might not be for everyone. It is just what I've kind of read and what I've kind of watched different people saying it. So it's more of an esoteric concept. It's more of about going deep within yourself and finding yourself. And after you're going to try like having one of those like regression sessions, you're going to find out another world which is, to be honest, extremely interesting. And you're going to find out how your brain works. And you know what, my opinion is as follows: if you find something that works for you and makes you a better person and makes you be your real authentic you, then you know what, that's your way. It can be through like, I don't know, religion, different practices. It can be even through yoga. It just depends what really kind of helps you go deep inside yourself and find out who you truly are. So basically, I'm just going to touch a bit on this subject, and I'm going to tell you something about religion. And all of what I'm saying here is actually based on Billy Carson, and he's a person that I follow, and he's like he's really like scientifical, and he has like all these like proven things that he speaks about. So he done all of the research, and he has all of these, you know, papers that he wrote and so on, in order to raise awareness about religion. And everything is backed by evidence. The Darwinian theory works until it doesn't work anymore. And basically they proven it that at some point, you know, the Homo, I don't remember which one, kind of jumped very quickly to the Homo sapiens. And basically Billy Carson explained that we had this Sumerian civilization where we had people coming from another planet, coming to actually genetically modify humans in order to use them to dig for gold and so on. And basically from that Sumerian kind of time, we have all of these, you know, society rules, like how society works, the fact that you have like taxes and so on, and the fact that you need to have like a program that is working, and you are to some degree a bit of a slave, even though you're not conscious about that, and you feel like, you know what, I'm having a good life. But then you might be like, when you look back at what you've done throughout your life, you'll be like, I worked most of my life. And most of us just work throughout the whole life. Actually, the other day I've seen a guy, he was like 70, and he was like, oh, I'm still working at 70 because I have grandchildren and so on. And he was very excited that he's finally going to retire. Based on those things, and based on what those, let's say, Sumerian advanced civilizations we had, people revered them as being gods, even though they were like some type of like more advanced humans, if you take it like that. Since then, this is what actually set the basis for developing religions later on throughout humankind. I'm not saying some of the parts from the Bible and from religion are actually good, because there is some truth to the story in there, but some of the parts you need to understand they were like actually written by people. So, you know, people manipulate anything because it is only one perspective. If you think about it, a person is going to tell you this story, another person is going to tell you another story. They might be about the same thing, but they saw the things differently. That's why conflict happens so much, because people actually concentrate more on differences rather than actually, you know, trying to see the other person's perspective and what they've been through. There is no acceptance towards that. People think these days they hold the ultimate truth, which is totally wrong, because there is no ultimate truth. There is perspective, there is unity. Everybody's learning here a lesson. And then after I've kind of very briefly explained exactly what, you know, society does and how it kind of was built, and using this type of, you know, instruments to actually control to some degree what people think and what people feel it is the right thing to do throughout your life. And we are kind of trapped into this type of programs that affected generations, and we are trapped in traumas that affected generations. We are trapped in somebody actually like muting ourselves because we never We never say what we really want. We never kind of live in accordance to our soul's desire. What happened going forward? We have the Industrial Revolution, and basically what they kind of realized, you know what, we need more people in order to put them in the system. So we need people that are ready to actually like work in the morning, eat at specific times, do all of this work, and we need them to be compliant to that. And then the education system was, let's say, manufactured towards that, towards developing the ultimate kind of worker, and not the person, and not necessarily developing the person to their highest potential. Why it is that we've seen so many people that are so successful and they're like, I've never been to school, I dropped out of school, and so on. And we have these examples already there. Just because I'm not saying education is not good. I've been in education since I was 1 year old, and I studied for 2 diplomas, and one of them was law as well. So it's not like I'm saying the educational system is wrong. I'm just saying the values that it's kind of built on are not necessarily envisioning the best version of yourself. So what happens now? Now, basically, if you want to improve yourself, you kind of need to understand that all of these things, all of these patterns, all of this system in place, they have nothing to actually do with you. They've been there from generations ago. They have nothing to do with you, with your like true self, with your true essence, because basically you were born into this system. That doesn't mean you are the system. That is why people refer it to matrix and so on. And that is why people want to leave this matrix, you know, just because they know they're not living to their highest potential, they're not living their true self. And basically, what's happening now, we have the conscious mind and we have the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is the one that, you know, it is like, you know, I can do more, I can be better, I want to achieve the best life. But basically, all of the keys are in the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind is affected by this system, is affected by through genes, which has been scientifically proven that we all have all these like fears that maybe our mothers had when we were like in their tummy or in the tummy of the grandmother and so on. And all of these genes, all of this trauma gets passed through generations, and they come to you, and you're like born in a system, have all of this trauma that actually doesn't belong to you, it's not you, but you feel like, oh, I always react like this, I always do these things. You know, we have all of this, like for example, different families where like the women don't have the best life, or men are always strong, or we have, why is this still going on? Why is this like still happening, you know? Like, why, if you're a different person? Just because everything is transmitted through genetics, through generations. The trauma is transmitted to the cellular level. Can you imagine? You maybe have the same features that your grandmother had. So if those features from your body get transmitted genetically, why wouldn't the trauma get transmitted genetically? It's the same thing. It's just genetics. And basically, all of the keys are in the subconscious mind, but we cannot access that so easily. That is why we have the regression hypnosis, which actually it was done more by Dolores Cannon. She's the one that we kind of, all of us kind of know about Dolores Cannon and past life regression and so on. And how should I say, even though if it might be that you don't believe in past lives, you only believe this is the only life you have, it doesn't matter, that works for you. But the thing is, this type of therapy goes deep into the subconscious mind, and it tries to make, it tries to figure out exactly what's going in there. And it might be, for example, that you go in there and you've seen a traumatic experience, for example, like it was my case, and my mind made an image of everything being quite cartoony, just because my mind couldn't actually perceive how damaging that experience was for me, so it made it much easier to digest. So this shows us that our subconscious mind, the program that pushes everything, even though you know how our brain works when you're like a developing baby, basically you do a thing 1, 2, 3 times, and then it becomes a reflex. Same with driving. You like learn to drive, you're like really stressed and so on, and then by the time you actually know how to drive, everything is just a reflex. Same happens with us throughout the day. You start to work, you work there 10 minutes, you feel, oh, I'm so conscious, I'm concentrating, I'm here, and so on. After 10 minutes, you do things mindlessly. You don't even think about what you're doing things on automatically. Then all of this action that actually happened, they are controlled by the subconscious mind. So it might be that we are like only 5% conscious throughout our day. It just depends what type of job you're doing, what is your mental health state, and so on. So basically, I've done this kind of, hopefully it's not going to be a long video, like a brief presentation of, how should I say, the structure, the essence of actually how our mind, works. And I really hope you're going to actually look into this. And as I said, it does not matter what you believe. If you believe in past lives, if you believe, in something like, specific religion, so on. Please believe in something. That's very, very important. Anything that makes you feel better. But the thing is, with this type of therapy, or with this type of, let's say, research into your own mind, basically you just find out that you're so much more than this. It cannot be that your mind is just there and you have all of these dreams and images and so on for nothing. It cannot be like that. If you think about, for example, they invented, with Amazon, it was just an idea. Where this idea came from their mind. So it's very important to actually analyze what's happening within your mind, because all of the answers and questions are within yourself. You are literally the key to everything. And basically throughout this type of therapy, you just have a guide. They just hold your hand through this process. But the thing is, the thing that you see them by yourself. The thing that you remember there by yourself, but they are just a helping hand to make sure that you're comfortable to discover yourself. So I hope you're going to, try this for yourself. And as I said, try anything that makes you feel better. Try anything that makes you improve yourself. Just make sure that you live your fullest potential. It does not matter. Just don't be afraid of anything. Go out there, dance, go to do comedy, whatever. Make sure that you always revere that inner child. When you're born into this world, we have all this energy and you have all of this, expectations, and you want to do so many things, and you're so happy and everything. And then by the time you're like an adult, you're like, oh, this life is so hard. But it wasn't like that all the time. In the beginning, it wasn't. So we kind of need to make sure that we have the same enthusiasm as that inner child. I hope this video helped you in any kind of way. I really trying to make it too long, but it might be. But I just really wanted to film this one. It's just one go. I'll try just to not to cut too many things, but I really hope that this is going to help in any way. And if you want, you can also go on my website, and if you want to try this type of therapy, we can get in touch there. Thank you so much. You have a lovely day. Bye.